Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of No More Yes Girls, where we, your hosts, Vivian and Vianney, talk about our healing journeys.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, sister.
Hello. This is a very interesting topic, and I feel like we don't really talk, or people haven't really talked about it too much. And I feel like we should talk about it because it affects us in many ways, more ways than we actually think.
Mhm.
And it's and we're talking about comparison.
Yeah.
Comparison within family members, comparison within friends, comparison with acquaintances, anybody who you're surrounded with. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's a big thing in our culture that we get compared a lot from a very young age, a very, very young age. And people talk about it like it's second nature. I don't know. What do you
hmm
think?
Yeah. And you know what? It is a very important topic
Yeah.
because I think that we don't understand the degree of how damaging it can
Yeah.
be, especially if you're raised with it since you were small. So yeah, and I'm glad that we're just jumping straight into it because there's so much to unravel here. And but yeah, we it's something that I've done. I've done with not with my two younger ones, but with my oldest, which she's my unfortunately my guinea pig. She's the one. With her I learned a lot. But I did do it. Um, but you know what? I think that even in our culture, it's something so normal. It's
Yeah.
normalized
Hmm.
because hasta de chiquitos, oh, ¿por qué no camina? O de ella caminó, temprano. Why isn't the baby walking yet? Why aren't they talking? Why aren't they doing, it's like, well, so and so's did, and it's just those things that, they grow up listening, you grow up listening to, and it gets to the point where, then you start comparing yourself,
Hmm.
and then you don't even know who you are anymore because you want to be somebody else so bad because that's what everybody, or at least, people would say,
Yeah, it's more so because your parents said so. You're going to
hmm
do it because your parents said so,
Yeah.
or your grandparents, or tías, tíos, padrinos, madrina, whoever.
hmm
Whoever's closest to you because they said it, you want to make them proud,
Yep.
and you don't want to have any problems, and you just want to please them.
And then at the end, you want to prove to them that you can be like them, like those other people too,
Yeah. Hmm.
and you
Hmm.
lose yourself. You lose yourself.
Yes.
You have no self-love because you don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you like. Um, yeah, it's I'm very passionate about this topic because I lived it. Um, I did that myself. I caused
Hmm.
damage doing that. And now I do um, try to talk to at least teenagers about this, especially if I find out that, they have been getting compared or they're doing things to make their parents proud because their parents said, oh, well, I wasn't able to do it, but, your cousin was, and look, so you're able to do it too. And so they're over
Hmm.
here, trying to get degrees and trying to get going into careers that they don't even want to be in just to make their parents proud.
Yep.
So I am very passionate about this topic, and it's just I'm glad that we're touching and uh, going into this a little bit deeper.
Yeah. For me, I was dying inside when I was people pleasing, and when I was trying to fit in that category or that label forcefully.
hmm
It was inside. Yeah, I didn't know who I was. I thought that's what I wanted because I was told I was supposed to do that. Um, but in reality, going through the motions and going through it, it's like, this is not me. I do not want this. And then of course it eats you up inside. You get stressed, you cry, you feel so emotional, you don't know what to do, you feel like your whole world is just falling apart. But then again, you see the people who were labeling you or wanting you to do that specific part, telling you that they're proud of you and telling you that they that see, yeah, see, you had the capability and the potential to do it, but in reality it's not what I wanted.
Hmm.
It's not what I wanted to do. And but I'm the one suffering, not them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense. Now I see it like, why am I going to fit into a bubble or a square when they're not the ones who are going to support it?
Hmm. Yep.
Just because they said so, but in reality I'm the one living it, not them.
Hmm. Yeah. And go ahead.
No, and it goes back to, because they've never experienced it, because they've never been through it, it's very easy for them to say.
Hmm. Yeah.
But it's very different when you're the one experiencing it or feeling it or doing it. It just doesn't make sense to me anymore.
Yeah. But you know what? I think that um maybe they did experience it, but they just did not experience in the life that we were living in. They were
True.
experiencing it in their own, with their parents growing up. So, but it just wasn't at that level of where we're at. Because remember, times change.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's something it had to be learned.
Yeah.
It was something that they had to learn because it doesn't come just like that. I, being the oldest, is the one who dealt with most of it because a lot was expected of me because I was the oldest.
Hmm.
So, and a lot comes también de el que dirán. Oh, but why are you doing that? Because ¿qué van a decir?
Hmm.
Or no, you have to be this way because, what are people going to think about our family? Or
Hmm.
what are they going to think about you? And at the
Hmm.
end, it could either go both ways. Either you sacrifice yourself and live the life that your parents wanted you to live or they outlined for you, or it goes it turns back, it backfires on them and you rebel completely, which is what I did because that's not what you want.
Yeah.
That's not how you want to grow up. It is not healthy at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not.
You start getting, or you start feeling resentment. I feel like, I mean, with
Hmm.
me, I feel like resentment just grows internally. And I didn't want to get into a place where I just wanted to completely cut off certain people in my life because of that resentment. On the contrary,
Yeah.
how can I still, how can we still be involved in each other's life without feeling some type of way?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it's basically setting those boundaries. It's going back to boundaries, it's going back to forgiving yourself, forgiving them. They might not understand where you're coming from, and that's okay. But as long as it's making you fulfilled and making you happy, and it's something that you chose to do or be, um, not them, not family, not friends, not anybody who's in that specific circle of your life. Um, because at the end of the day, you're the one living through it and going through it, not them.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so true because you start, and you don't even just resent the ones who were comparing you. You resent the people you're being compared to
I mean, yeah.
because it's like I don't want to associate with them because then you start thinking they're better than me,
Hmm.
and they have no clue.
Yep.
Like they have no clue,
Yeah.
and it's yeah, it's so true, and it's so toxic. and that's just something that you just don't. For me, for me growing up, ever since I can remember, it was always, um, you have to know how to clean, how to cook, how to do this, how to do
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
Because when my mom was my age, at whatever age that was, 9, 10, 11, she had already taken care of the house. She had cooked, she had washed by hand, she had taken care of her younger sibling, um, and she was young.
Yeah.
So that's what was expected of me. Because if she was able to do it, why couldn't I do it?
Hmm.
And it's just like it just didn't make sense to me, which now, now that I'm older, I'm glad that I took care of you guys, at least my three siblings. There's four younger ones, but the three that were we grew up with, and or that I grew up with, I'm glad that I did that because I got to know each one of you up to a certain point.
Yeah.
And so I was able to be there, at least for me. I'm not asking, I don't want any credit. I don't want any, for my siblings, nothing. But for me, I feel at peace that I was at least, between our parents' divorce, you guys at least had me, that I
Yeah.
was there, up to a certain point. And so for that, I'm just like, oh, okay, at least I know a peace of mind. I have peace of mind that I was there for you guys. That you guys all came out good, and you guys were all now you guys have your life all put together, and I'm proud of each and every single one of you guys. But yeah, it was hard, trying to or living that life, and that's something, that I said, no, I don't want my siblings to live that way. And you guys didn't get it as harsh as I did, but you know, I mean, it still trickled down. Um, with my dad was just the simplest thing. You know what it was? I couldn't cut my hair.
Oh, yeah.
My hair had to be long. My hair was always long, always. I didn't cut my hair until the summer of seventh grade, going to eighth grade. But in seventh grade, I was done. I had so much hair. It was so long. And I would go to school in a bun every day because I didn't want it long anymore. I was tired of it. And my dad didn't understand that
Yeah.
because one of our aunts had her hair really long and he liked it. And because in Mexico, everybody had their hair long. So he wanted me
Yeah.
to have my hair long. And it was like, yeah, but it took forever to dry.
Yeah.
I had to wait for my mom to be done brushing it so she can braid it. And it was a hassle. But for my dad, I had to have that because everybody did and he liked it. And
I
it was a
remember.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After I cut mine super short after my parents got divorced, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because of, again, that resentment or whatever my parents are going through at the time, but I also had very long hair too, and it came down to the point where it was like up to right here,
Hmm.
neck,
Yeah.
neck length, or yeah, neck length. And I remember my dad was pissed. He was
Yeah.
so mad when I when when I went to go get my hair cut, like literally chopped off.
Yeah.
And even up to this date, like I mean, no, now it's a different, but when I was growing up with him, still like he did not like me with short hair. And he would verbalize it too. He would always tell me, he's like, a mí no me gusta que te andes cortando el pelo bien cortito. And yeah, I would always have my hair at least like maybe length, shoulder length and down. But there was times where I'm like, you know what? F it. I'm just gonna cut it short.
Yeah.
And yeah, there
Yeah.
was times where I would cut it short, and it's hair. It's gonna grow back. At least for me, we
Right.
have a lot of hair, and
Hmm.
it's just gonna grow back. I mean, I every time I trim my hair, it grows pretty fast. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, growing up, my dad didn't want, yeah, and same thing with makeup. Like we weren't allowed to wear makeup for a period of time.
Yeah.
Um, I think for me, up until I was in high school, I started wearing makeup, or after I turned 15, then I started
Yeah.
wearing, and he would still dictate like how much I would put on because no quería que me pareciera como una payasa.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny. I didn't start wearing makeup until I was married in my 20s, my late 20s, because my dad never let me.
I remember you with makeup
Hmm.
though.
No,
You would always wear lip
I
liner.
would
You would
just wear
always
lip
have,
gloss and no, just lip gloss
and
and mascara. Actually, the same thing I have now.
yeah,
That's all I
with
would have.
yeah, because
I
I
was
remember
just,
you with
I was
makeup.
just younger. I was just younger.
Yeah, no, I remember you. I remember you with makeup. I mean, because you would always get those professionally taken, or you would take those professional pictures all the time.
Yeah, but I never had makeup on. It was just mascara and when I would take the pictures, it would be a dark lip liner and lip gloss. That's it.
Yeah, that's how I remember you with
Yeah, but there
but I
no
remember
other no other
your
makeup.
mascara and eyeliner.
Mm-mm. I didn't start wearing like full blown makeup
Hmm.
until but that then those pictures was when I was one of them was when I was 14. The first one would I had dark lip I had just mascara and dark lip liner.
Yeah, that's
And
how I
then
remember you.
yeah, that's the only one that I have that I wore like a dark and then I got in trouble. And then when I was 17, I already had my daughter and that one I también it was just mascara and a brown. I liked the brown lipstick. That's it.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, but no makeup that I would actually do my makeup was not until I was in my late 20s.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I couldn't um wear nail polish.
Oh
I
yeah,
couldn't
I remember that.
I couldn't get my nails done.
Hmm.
Um he didn't want me to like tweeze my eyebrows either. So when I tweezed them, I had to like left like a thin line
I
because
remember.
I had
I
really, really
remember.
bushy eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I mean, we think it's funny now, but we don't see how traumatizing it is
Yeah. I remember my
because
dad got so mad at me because my mom went to go get her nails done and she took me with her. And I really wanted to get it was just nail polish on my fingers. And I really wanted to get my nails painted. So my mom let me. I remember we got home and my dad got so mad and had me remove my nail polish. I remember I
mhm,
was crying in the middle of the in the middle of the hallway, just removing the nail polish. But because I was so sad and I always wanted my nails done because I would see my mom and my grandma always have their nails done. And I wanted my nails done too, but it left me so traumatized. And I
yeah,
talk about it with my dad, and he's like, Yo nunca hice
no,
eso.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, Yes, you did. I remember
yeah,
like if it was yesterday.
yeah, yeah, that's so true. Yeah,
And then
but
I would
this,
remind him too, like, oh, remember when you used to compare me to fulana de tal? And then he would just stay quiet. And I was like, look where she's at now.
yeah, yeah,
Imagínese if I would have taken that route, what would you have to say?
hmm,
And he would just stay quiet. And
yeah,
it's like, no, you like if you know like you know like you know, it's gonna work out to your favor and it's gonna be way better than what other people say. It doesn't matter who it is.
yeah,
But it just sucks. It sucks going through the motions because there are people that are so close to you, people that you would want them to protect you or support you in any way, when in reality it's like they're telling you jabs left and right or telling you or bringing you down here and there. And maybe their intentions are not that way, or maybe they are, who knows?
hmm,
But I
yeah,
try, I mean, back then we would take it to heart. I would take it to heart. And now I just blow it off. And but still it can be it can take a toll on you emotionally and mentally.
yeah, yeah. And for me, why I'm so passionate and I love talking to teenagers about it when I find out about, certain situations, es porque that molds you,
Yeah.
you know? It's like that molds who who you're going to become, or even start your healing journey.
Yeah.
How long is it going to take? Because I remember I always thought I was never good enough because I was always compared
Hmm.
all the time. And then come to find out, como dices tú, come to find out, those people are like not even what you were even expecting,
Yeah.
and it's like, what the heck? But again, and it's not to judge them, but they were probably going through the same situation too,
Yep. Hmm.
and nadie se dio cuenta.
Hmm.
So son situaciones con eso. Um, I've met people and I've talked to people, especially the younger generations, where they literally try to become the person they're being compared to. They try to become because les dicen, oh, es que fulanita hizo eso, ¿tú por qué no puedes?
Hmm.
Oh, pero es que a ella sí le gusta, o es que, pues, you know, I don't know, porque ella sí se viste así.
Yeah.
And so they start because they're growing up to please their parents para que ya no les diga nada, empiezan a querer ser así,
Yeah.
and then you sit back and you realize like that's not you. Todos somos individuales, todos somos diferentes. Desde mi papá, cada cabeza es un mundo.
Hmm.
Y es lo que es. And then that's funny
Yeah.
because after all the comparison, he comes and tells you that.
Yeah. I know. Hasta la fecha.
Pero, yeah, I know. Pero you know what? But see, now I'm sure that he's come to realize
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
he was wrong, and because I know my husband and I, because my husband was heavily, raised in his family, with the comparison. Um, I think I stopped sooner than he did, and it was so damaging for our oldest daughter. I was able to own up to it, that I was wrong before my husband did.
Yeah.
And when we talked about it, and I said, hey, especially with our son, I mean, our son with the ADHD, we've learned so much with him. And knowing that, hey, not everybody is the same, not everybody learns the same, not everyone's brain is the same,
Yeah.
not everybody likes the same things. Even the discipline for our children is completely different because they cannot be the same. And
Yeah.
in our culture, they have that saying, todos iguales o ninguno.
Yeah.
And it's like, but they're not the same.
Yeah.
They're not the same. You have to really get to know your children, because it's like, for my son with ADHD, if I yell at him, he shuts down and he won't listen. He's done. Like, I don't care what you say. My oldest is the same, but she's just kind of like, she'll talk back. The middle one, she'll start crying because I raised my voice. And so it's like, they're different. There's no
Yeah.
way they're gonna learn, the discipline is not gonna be the same. And unfortunately, we were taught everybody equally, and it's
Yeah.
just like, I get it when it comes to like, if you're gonna buy shoes for one, you don't want other ones to feel bad, so you get shoes for everybody, or even if you buy, one wants shoes, the other one wants, I don't know, a shirt, the other one wants a hoodie, but at least you bought something for all of them,
Yeah.
you know but when it comes to like discipline and stuff, it's like, you cannot, you not all of them are the same. Even with learning, not everybody learns the same,
Hmm. Yeah.
and so we need to stop comparing people and comparing children, and just be us, exactly who we are, because then with that comes judgment. then other people are judging you. Why? Because we were all compared. So then you decide to do something different, and then someone's going to judge you. Why? Because they're not confident enough to do something different. So it's easier to judge the one who is so they can feel better for themselves. And it's like, okay, you know, I feel like that's why we have so much going on in this world. That's why there's so many, now called haters. Yeah, because it's like it's easier that way because there's
Yeah,
always like the comparison. And and at the end, the only thing it is just change your mentality, the way you think. Start healing, start letting
hmm,
go. It's like our kids, and this is something that has been said for years, our kids are our future because there's no more truth than that. Our kids are our future. So why are we still damaging our kids with all the information we know now? Values, moral respect, that should never change. That should always be. But it doesn't mean it has to be learned through scare tactics, through violence, through, putting people down, through comparing, because then it's just going to be, you're going to have to start this whole cycle again in a few years.
that's
I
powerful.
told you, I told you I was passionate about this. I told you.
That is so
You could,
powerful, but it's so true. It's
yeah,
it's very true. It's very true because it's easier for us not to talk about our emotions. It's easier for us to build up a wall. It's easier for us to not think about ourselves. And it's easier for us not to do the work.
yeah. And then we complain, well, there's no communication,
Yeah.
but then you communicate and then you get hurt,
Hmm.
because you're not ready to face it and you don't want to face it.
Yeah.
So I mean, we got to do something. I mean, we can't, you know, have the, como dice, have the cake and eat it too.
It's something that I know it's easier said than done. I get it. I understand. But if you really want change in your life, you're gonna have to do it.
Yeah,
If you want peace in your life, if you want love in your life, if you want a happier life, you're gonna have to do the work too.
yeah. If you want happy kids,
Hmm.
a happy future, a better world for your children. How many people are saying
Yes.
now, oh my God, I'm so scared for my kids when they grow up. What's this world coming to? What are we teaching our kids now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are we scared? Why are we complaining when it's in our power to change that?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's our job as parents to teach our kids, like I said, to be respectful, um, to have morals, but also to be empathetic with people, passionate about whatever they do, not put them down,
Yeah.
just to show them that, hey, whatever you want to do, go for it. I'm here for you.
Hmm.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
don't put
And
them down,
hmm,
and that
yeah.
way they can also be those motivators for other people.
One thing I've been working on these last couple of years, more so these last maybe going on 2 years, is trying to be unconditional love
Hmm.
and trying to show unconditional love to everybody and practice it, trying to practice it as much as I can every day. And of course, without judgment, without comparison, without guilt, and just to give everybody their place and just try try to match their energy because I do feel their vibes and I do feel like how they are. And when it's negative or when it's not genuine, I just try to be nice about it. So like, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna. give you more negativity or anything. It's just okay, keeping your distance or just letting things be for the sake of their end.
Hmm.
And but ultimately just trying to show unconditional love to as many people as I can reach or talk to or be around. It doesn't matter their background, it doesn't matter where they're coming from, who they are, race, ethnicity. Like it's humanity. Like I feel like I talked about this last in one of our last podcasts that we're just losing the sake of humanity. Like we're just
Yeah.
losing a simple hello, a simple human interaction. And I mean, it sucks. It sucks because not that long ago, we were all having that human interaction. And now, because everything is so digital and everything is within our fingertips, like to us, it's so easy for us to shut down and to stay in a bubble and not associate with any humans or have
Yeah.
that human interaction. And I feel like we're just getting more and more lost because of that. And I mean, that's where also comparison kicks in, guilt kicks in, all of these emotions kick in because we see other people thriving or we see other people socializing or we see other people having that human experience when in reality we're not even doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know, and I mean, I've said this before, we are our own biggest enemy.
Hmm.
We're our biggest criticizer. We are our biggest judge. So if we can learn to eliminate or not pay attention to or not listen to that um, enemy that we have inside or that criticizer that we tend to have inside and learn to work with it because it's never going away.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away because it's always going to judge us and it's always
Hmm.
going to criticize us. But if we can learn to work with it, if we can learn to overcome the fear and the negativity, the world would be a much better place, not only for
Yeah.
ourselves, but for everybody around us.
Yeah. Yeah. And all
And
that comes because of it, because of the comparison. So
yeah,
you criticize yourself, you're harsh on yourself
hmm,
because you were always trying to be somebody who was not you,
yeah,
as opposed to when you motivate, since they're small, you motivate them and you show them that everything is possible, that nothing is impossible, and show them how to think critically and how to get things done and stuff like that. They know that they're capable of doing it. There's
hmm,
no like, oh, I can't do it. I'm telling you because I see it with my kids.
hmm,
My oldest one, she was completely damaged and we're healing, but she doubts herself. She overthinks everything,
yeah,
just like I did. And I still do sometimes. But my two younger ones, they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna get done. Okay. But they're so sure about it. It's
yeah,
like, dang, but I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that
yeah,
because that means they're go-getters,
hmm,
and they can also show somebody else, hey, it's okay, it can be done, and they can motivate somebody else.
yeah. Yeah, so in a world where we would get compared to, in a world where we would get judged, in a world where we get criticized and live in survival, what happens if we change that to the opposite?
Yeah.
So instead of all that negativity, what happens if we replace it with positivity?
Hmm.
It would be a whole different outcome, I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah.
Possibly a better outcome than what you're living, currently going through, or have been raised, or heck, even still playing the victim. I get it. It's easier said than done. I get it.
Hmm.
But I mean, I've done the work. We've done the work, and yeah, it's going to take time. Just how it takes time to build that criticism, just how it takes time to build that comparison, just how it takes time to build that enemy from other people, or that label that we try to fit in. We can also reverse that.
Yeah.
But it's going to take time.
And you know what? I would suggest it starts with whenever you want to compare, catch yourself,
Yeah.
catch yourself and say, "Mm, should I really compare? Do I know what that person is going through? Or am I really that person?
Hmm.
And just start with that. Every time that, you feel like, or that someone's comparing you, think about it. No, that's not who I am. And tell yourself, that's not who I am. And just understand that that person who's wanting to compare you is probably even comparing their own self
Yeah.
with somebody. And
Yeah.
start with, or even with your kids. If you catch yourself trying to compare your kids with, oh, well, that person has straight A's, or that person does understand math, don't. Not everybody's the same. Catch yourself. Say, hey, do I really want to damage my kids this way?
Yeah.
Just be more conscious of what comes out of your mouth.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure your kids are probably going to see that as normal too.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then again, like we talked about last episode, do you want your kids to live that life as well?
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're their
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're leading by example.
Hmm. And
And
then
so that's, I mean,
they can come back to you and say, well, you've been doing it,
right.
or
Hmm.
you've been comparing or criticizing. Why can't
Yeah.
I?
And that's a stab. It hurts
Yeah.
because it's happened to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh crap. But no, but it's true. And I have to
Yeah.
sit, yeah, you have to sit down and I accept it and I say, yeah, you're right. I did do it. But now I know that I'm wrong and it shouldn't be that way,
Yeah.
and it's gonna hurt because it hurts.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the only way to make a change. But even in social media, they compare
Oh.
influencers with other influencers, and it's like, why? Just be you. Just live your life. Just, worry about oneself.
Hmm. And most of the time, the people who are comparing, they probably don't have anything better to do. B, they're probably wanting that life that
Hmm. They're
they see that you
criticizing.
have. Yeah, that they see that you have. I mean, I get it all the time. I actually just I haven't really read my comments in a long time in a lot of my social media pages, through my personal social media pages. I actually just came across one that said, "Oh, that's not how you're supposed to be." I think I was making, what was I making? I think I was making tortillas, corn tortillas. And one commenter was just like, "That's not how you make corn tortillas," and then said something else with the lines that I bet they probably don't even come out as good, or something within those lines. And another commenter, again, because it triggers or it sparks other people's emotions, another commentator commented and was just saying, well, if you don't like how she does them, why don't you create a video up making it yourself and upload it?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I was just laughing. I'm like, oh my gosh, but it's so true. Like some of these people, they'll answer for you, A. And second of all, with the stuff that they come up with or they say, it's like, well, why don't you give it a try and let me know how it goes?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's again, because it's so easy to judge, especially nowadays of all social media that's out there. Again, everything is within the reach of our fingertips.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to criticize, to compare, to guilt trip. I feel nowadays than it has ever before. And and I mean it sucks because we shouldn't really be paying attention to what media has to offer or what social media has to say because we have our own problems to deal with. We have our own situations, our own personal healing journey to deal with. And if we were to all deal with our personal traumas, if we were to heal our personal selves, none of this would be on social media. None
Yeah.
of this negativity would be on social media. None of this news, all the all the stuff that's going on in the world today, none of it would be on there if we just simply take the time to actually learn about ourselves, heal our past traumas or our past selves, and continue working on ourselves to become better people.
Yeah.
And we would be living in a better world.
Yeah. And again, I mean, when people are hiding behind their phone or their screens, um, how damaging is it to the
Yeah.
person receiving those? If you
Mhm.
have not, if you do not have a hard shell and you haven't done the healing,
Mhm.
how damaging is it to the people that are behind it,
Yeah. Yeah.
or to the ones that they're talking to? And it's like, we get it that you're hurt, but why would you want to hurt other people? Like, why would you want to do that?
Hurt does not cancel out hurt.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And hurt to a healed person doesn't cause damage.
Hmm.
Or to a healing person, I should say, doesn't cause damage. On the
Yeah.
contrary, you're able to see, like, oh, that person is just talking because of them, not because of
Yeah.
me.
You feel bad more for
For
them
them.
than yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. I don't understand. Or even people who can sit there and look at your videos and probably just talk crap
Oh, all
about
the
you.
time.
And
Hmm.
it's like, okay, well, good for you.
Yeah.
Like,
They don't know me.
like, yeah, yeah.
And
Or even if they did,
yeah. See, yeah,
it's
see,
like,
yeah,
okay, it's,
sure.
you just continue
Yeah.
moving on
Yeah.
again, because you're talking from a place of hurt,
Yep.
or from a place of comparison, or from a place of, trauma.
Yep. Yeah, but it's so true. It's funny because at the very beginning, when I first started social media, like some of those thoughts would creep in, being like, "Oh my gosh, what is my family gonna think of me? They're probably gonna judge me. They're probably gonna talk
Hmm.
a lot of crap or share my videos just to make fun of it." And like completely just go into a whole negative rabbit hole. And then the moment I just release those thoughts, or the moment that I just let it go, like I just felt like more of a just pressure being lifted off my shoulders and my chest, and literally just say, hey, you know what? I'm doing this because I love to do this. And it brings me joy and happiness, and it brings other people joy and happiness more than it does to the negative. I mean, that's all that really matters. Like, if I continue, people are not going to agree with it. Okay. But the majority of the other people are going to agree with it because they can relate to it. And, and it's also going to heal something in them one way or another.
Yeah.
And that's the way I see it now. Same thing like with our podcast, same thing with our social medias and stuff. Yeah, a lot of people are not gonna like it, or they're gonna probably talk crap about it. But I
They'll be
mean,
triggered by it.
or be triggered by it. Yeah, but we're healing, and we know it's not for everybody, and that's okay. And for the people that it is comforting for them, or that it is healing them in one way or an area within their lives, like that's who I'm targeting. Those are the
Yeah.
people that I genuinely want to be around or help
Hmm.
in any way we can, because it's time to grow. It's time to become better.
Yeah.
not only for ourselves, but for everybody around us and for our future generation as well.
Generations.
It's
Yeah.
time it's time to break cycles. It's time to heal whatever we need to heal from our past generations. It's time. And I've had enough. And if you haven't had enough, then keep living that way.
Yeah. Yeah. When I noticed that I wasn't doing too bad with my kids, when that trend came out of um I think it was like, are your kids living room kids or something like that, where
Oh,
they would spend their time more in the living room.
yeah.
And that resonated with me because I spend most of my time in my room. And so I have when I have family, like that we had family time and stuff like that, I probably remember just like when our parents were together, probably like one or two times that I remember we would lay down and watch a movie or whatever, or take a nap
Yeah.
when it was
Yeah.
hot. But other than that, I was always in my room. People would come over and we would just be in my room, and that's it. Like there was no hanging out with you guys, there was, or with the adults, nothing, none of that. So it was just most of the time I was always in my room. And with my kids, no. With my kids, they're all anywhere I go, they're right next to me. I can be working and in the office, they're sitting there. All of them. I'm talking about from their ages range from 22 to 2, and they're all with me. Sometimes I hide in my room and I'm like, okay, they're not gonna find me. But once one finds me, they all start coming in and they all jump on my bed and they're all with me all the time. And that's when I noticed, I said, you know what? My kids want to hang out with me.
Oh,
Like,
that's awesome.
they want to be with me,
Hmm.
as opposed to us, we weren't, you know,
Yeah.
we never had that. And I'm not talking about everybody, but I think most of us, were raised that way, where, the adults were with the adults and the kids were with the kids,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that's it. And here
Yeah.
it's like we're all together and we have family game night and stuff like that. And and the kids are happy.
Yeah.
It's what I didn't have. But
But
it can change if you guys want to change it. It is possible.
mhm.
It is possible to change it for your kids and not go through the same thing that you went through, if it resonates with you.
It just it's just one decision away. It's always one decision away.
Hmm.
One
Yep.
choice away, one decision away to a totally different and better life.
Yeah.
But it has to start within. But okay, it's as always, it's so interesting and we can continue talking. And I just want to congratulate ourselves for making it to what is this, our 10th episode?
10th episode. Uh-huh.
Is this the 10th one?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's so crazy.
That's the 10th episode. Those are 10 weeks of
Yeah.
us talking and healing
Yeah.
in some way as well, and
Yeah. Yeah.
getting to connect with people, and it's
Yeah. And
awesome.
once again, I'm never going to stop saying thank you to everybody who listens to our podcast or YouTube, wherever you stream. We appreciate it more than you know.
Yeah.
And thank you for all the comments, the messages. I mean, I'm not going to stop saying thank you to all of you guys.
Yeah.
And again, if you guys want to send us more comments and messages, I mean, all is welcome. As always, I'm listing everything below into the description box. There's also a link where you can support us if you would like. No obligation to you whatsoever. Um, but it would be much more appreciated for us to keep going.
Hmm.
And as always, sending you guys so much love, so much light your way, blessings your way. And we will see you and talk to you on our next episode.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.